Hello, welcome to the S.H.O.P, the Social Hub of Positivity. We are in the S.H.O.P. We are being shrouded in this wonderful piece of community artwork that was sponsored by Wessex Water in the flow. It's kind of a nice little, I don't know what it is, nice little saying or a legend or whatever called in the flow. Be in the flow. Being in the flow is really important. Now, someone who is in the flow is Marie Elliott, who is a fantastic artist who is also exhibiting at this annual exhibition we are holding here at the S.H.O.P. And I'm just going to let you talk a bit about yourself, when you started working, when you started getting into art, how long you've been doing it, and where do you normally exhibit, and where people can get hold of your stuff. Okay. Do you sell it?
Yeah.
Perfect. There you go, that's it.
Well, I'm someone who's always been creative and created art from a very early age. I mostly worked in pencil and pastels through time, but just in the last year and a half have started painting.
With acrylics, is it?
I started with acrylic,
yeah.
Just as an experiment, just to see what it was like, and I was instantly hooked with painting. So created a few paintings and was surprised by how well it went, I suppose. And then I thought, well, what about oils? Give oils a go.
Wow.
After going to a workshop by a local artist who was doing a talk, and the minute I started working with oils, that was it. Then I sort of moved over to that. So I don't really do
it's
much.
The white spirits, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's a much.
It's the white spirits that
it works in a much. Yeah, I love the smell of it actually.
There you go.
The way it moves on the surface and what you can do with it, I find the sort of things that I like to do involve quite a lot of detail, and I find that you can get that detail with oil. And although it doesn't dry as quickly, you have to work with it differently. So you come back to it, you do a bit, you let it dry a bit. There are different techniques where you can do what we call wet on wet, but I tend to sort of do it in stages. So I've always got 2 or 3 paintings on the go.
Really?
And I'll do a bit on one and then leave that one and then go to another one.
Have you got a studio then?
No, I was just saying to Laura, I'd love to have a studio, but art is not my full-time job, but it's becoming more and more, it's taking up more and more of my time. I'd love to do it, more, but at the moment it's, I'd say it was more than a hobby.
I was going to say, that's a hell of a hobby. I've seen some of your stuff, that's amazing stuff.
Thank you. So as I was creating these pieces, people were saying, oh, you should sell those. So I started trying to put myself out there, and then I joined a group of artists that's newly formed in Chippenham called Chippenham Creatives.
We interviewed
Caroline.
Not whenever this goes out, some weeks ago. Have a look at this. You haven't seen Caroline's stuff because she does completely different. What's great about, I know majority of the artists, you all do something slightly different, don't you?
Yeah, we do. So we meet up. We originally met up just socially, and putting ideas together for how we might exhibit our work and other things, and then we gradually started. Now we meet monthly and we bring our work with us, but also there's an opportunity to try other people's techniques. So for instance, Caroline does lino printing, so other people have had a go at that. We've had a go at needle felting, which is something with Magda. So it's not only an opportunity to meet up and have a nice evening and do your own work, but also have a go at something else.
Because that's the thing, isn't it? And this is part of the reason why we do these podcasts, bizarrely, is to inspire other people. So the idea that everyone has a book in them type of thing, everyone's got a story. When you do something creative, for me, and the whole idea of Can Do Arts for Sustainable Development is using the arts to look at some really major issues in people's lives. So we do a lot around mental health, we do a lot around poverty, we do a lot of working up and down the country and abroad sometimes, working with communities, looking at the fundamentals that bind people. So instead of doing, not that there's wrong with lectures where you just point out facts to people, it's a case of exploring those issues, particularly the emotional ones, through the arts. So we do all the arts. We make films, we do documentary, blah 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 blah, music, whatever. But the idea is, and we have run an alternative education program, so that people connect almost vicariously with their emotional anchor, what it is that's holding them back potentially, or some of the issues that might be affecting them, and allow them just to try different things like you guys are doing once a month. That's really important, because sometimes we get obsessed, don't we? We just go down one, we just like one football team, we just like, not that there's anything wrong with that, of course, you have to just like one football team, but we stick to become entrenched sometimes. So the idea that you all meet up once a month and you share and inspire, because you just don't know, do you, until you've tried it, that whether that would be, like you said, you started off with pencil, then you progressed, well, I say progressed, don't know if progress is not the word, is it? It's not really the word. Branched out, yeah, you explored different mediums, and that in itself is a metaphor for life, trying different things to enable people to have different experiences and different perspectives. So that's really interesting. So you say that this isn't your full-time job. What is your full-time job? Do you mind me asking you?
I'm actually a singing teacher.
No way. Really?
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Give me the guitar, let's have a little song.
Oh no.
That's great. Where do you do that then? Privately?
I teach privately at home. I also teach at the Corsham School and another school in Tetbury.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. I drove my singing tutor at drama college crazy, because I was actually singing and being in bands and had actually done it as a profession. Not when I was at college, but drove her because I was really resistant to changing what I had developed myself. I kind of found my own voice via listening to people that I was impressed by and inspired by. So I haven't got much of a singing voice. It's not what you'd call a pure voice, but it connects emotionally. So I was also kind of quite reluctant. So she's beginning, no, just a different way of breathing. It's just that so you can project your voice, use your diaphragm, all this sort of stuff. Later, once I started getting into problems with my throat when I was touring and stuff, I did actually pay for private lessons to overcome that. That's amazing that you do that. How many days a week do you do that?
5 days a week.
Wow. So what are you doing today then?
Well, today's an inset day at school.
Wicked. Well, we're lucky to have you. That's really interesting.
Yeah.
So again, are you a singer?
Yes, I'm trained as a singer.
Right. And where do you sing then?
Well, I don't sing as much as I used to,
Right.
and I'm actually a classical singer.
Wow.
So I still sing mainly in the local area in Bath and sing in Frome. Just
How lovely.
in
You
a
should
second.
any chance we could get you together with Ollie Consoli? Do you know who he is?
I don't think so.
You should check some of our gigs out if you see through these things. He trained at Bristol Vic. He sort of does your sort of classic show songs. He's got a major voice. Fantastic guy, and he sings beautifully. And sometimes we put him together with other people. He did it with at our last festival at the Pitch and Pop. Maddie. Maddie was Ellis, Maddie Ellis, beautiful voice, lovely person, beautiful voice. What's the chances? I know this has just gone crazy. It's like a Donald Trump rally, isn't it? Went out there, hopefully the assassination attempts. Now that I say that, just then I get shot in the ear. I know this has just branched off completely, but I kind of like the fact that you have got more than one creative outlet, because art would be fantastic, but it can do. We try and there's a bit of a smorgasbord of things that young people, when we're doing alternative education, but in this scenario, that's why we have on Tuesdays the singing group here, with the poetry group. Is that every 2 weeks? Is it every week?
Yeah, every 2 weeks.
Every 2 weeks. So poetry every 2 weeks. We have our wellbeing art workshops. One on the Fridays, that started the Fridays with Olive Branch, and on the Saturdays with Jane Alexander.
They're not happening anymore. They're finished.
Are they finished? They were really, I heard they were amazing. We should get hold of her again. But that idea, I'm sorry, it's really boring, I just keep going on. But I know, because I'm kind of really intrigued by the fact that you're a singer. What sort of songs do you like singing personally? I know that you do classical stuff.
Well,
and it's all
that's my
good.
job, but
Yeah.
but I actually I don't teach that very much because it's not popular,
Yeah.
especially with the teenagers.
Yeah.
So I tend to specialise more in pop and music theatre these days. And I
Yeah.
grew up singing music theatre and classical, but went down the classical road, but still love musical theatre.
Beautiful. What's your favourite musical theatre piece?
That's really. I'm often swayed between Les Miserables and Miss Saigon. They're my two favourite
Right, so
musicals.
he does, what's the song? Bring Him Home.
Bring Him Home.
Breaks me. He does it as
Yeah.
a thing for me every now and again. He'd just do it.
Mm.
Never seen Les Mis. A friend of mine who was very talented, was in Blood Brothers. Now I know that that's kind
Oh, that's a
of
great musical. Yeah.
Willie Russell, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's that's really accessible as a musical. And he did it in Broadway as well as he won the Olivier Award for it. But he's got a real connecting voice. He sings. It's quite. I don't know what you'd say. It's kind of not a raucous voice, but it's kind of rough around the edges in certain points, kind of gravelly.
Yeah.
But really connecting, and then that's a really emotive. There aren't many musical theatre pieces that aren't emotional or emotive, are there? So, if you were going to sing a pop song, then, he said.
What would I choose? Oh gosh, that's really hard actually.
So, do you do a lot of recording?
No, not really. No.
Right. So, if you were going to be in a situation where you were going to do a recording of some new stuff, would that be kind of a nice change for you psychologically?
Yeah, it would. Yeah.
Yeah?
Because it's not.
It's not what you
it's not
normally
what I would
do.
normally
So,
do.
when you perform, you do classical.
Yeah,
When you
or
teach,
musical theatre,
or musical
teaching,
theatre,
yeah.
right? And then when you teach, you do musical theatre and pop. What about singing some original songs and recording them?
When you say original, I mean
Original songs.
someone who like.
Yeah.
I don't write songs.
No. We've got the songs. I'm just wondering.
Yeah.
Because Ollie's done a song with us. I'm thinking
Yeah.
maybe that song.
Yeah, I mean, I've got some students who write their own stuff, and I help them sometimes with their writing,
Yeah.
and maybe I help them out with harmonies and things like that. And so, yeah, I mean, I'm singing anything really. I'm not fussy as long as it's good.
Cool. Just think we need to get our choir together for the Christmas thing as well. We do it every year at Laycock.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
maybe get to know us by coming to our studio and doing some stuff and doing some Christmas songs with us.
Could do. As long as it's not Mariah Carey. 'Cause that's
Oh
too
God,
hard.
no! It's not even that. It's just maybe I let people choose it, but it will be modern. It will be
Yeah.
not modern. It will be
The well-known.
well-known songs.
Yeah.
Wow, this has taken a nice turn, hasn't it?
Yes.
Right, so come and see this lovely person. Come and see this lovely person's art at our S.H.O.P social hub. We're going to put contact details so you can get your whatever. If you want some singing lessons, maybe also now. You see, that's good. It's good to talk. You could get hold of you if you do them,
Yeah.
and watch this space about when you might hear this wonderful person collaborate with Can-Do in a different way musically, and see if that comes to fruition. I'm excited, even if she's petrified. You know what I mean? You do. Anything else you want to say to these wonderful people that are watching? Because there are people that watch this. and I
Just
come back.
come and support Can-Do. It's a fantastic place. There's a lot going on.
Yeah.
Not just the art, but there's things for sale, but there's
Yeah.
a lot of activities as well.
Yeah,
and lots
sort of
different
coming
stuff.
together.
Yeah.
Exactly, just a safe space. And a warm space. Emotionally, if not physically.
It's quite warm in here.
It is actually. It is. Right, you're wonderful.
Thank
I'm
you.
so glad to have met you. Right, there you go. That's a wrap.
Spinning at 1,000 miles an hour, just another speck in the cosmic